One of the clear targets of China's April 1st consumption tax was luxury cars. The bigger and fancier the car, the more it was taxed. Car makers and dealers around the country are now reviewing their product lines and the impact of the tax on their sales structure. Cai Jue finds out how sensitive the market is to the changes and where the road leads from here.
It doesn't take long to spot a luxury car on China's urban roads. The big-engine Mercedes, BMWs, Porsches and others are all well presented after years of the strong sales since the turn of the new millennium.
I have seen an annual 20% growth in our sales for the past 5 years. I think this is mostly due to rising incomes and more people shifting from medium-class cars to the luxury ones. Our car sales data shows 60% of the cars sold have engines with big emission volume.
Tang's been in luxury cars for 15 years, and last year watched the Mercedes flagship moved nearly 700 units, which brought the net profit around 40 million yuan. After the tax review notice released in mid-March, Tang has realized the potential in the high-end car market.
Generally, we can sell 60 to 70 cars per month. But in March, right after the tax review announcement, there was one day when we were able to take orders for 34 cars. And the sales volume of March reached a record high, 160 cars sold in one single month.
The new taxes could add 200,000 yuan on this top-of-the-line Mercedes-Benz. The government more than doubled the tariff on these luxury gas gassers. And one of the beneficiaries should be the environment.
I believe the purpose of this new change to the consumption tax is just to cope with the economic development and the consumption pattern change in China, and to align with the national policy of the environmental protection. That's why the new consumption tax rules effectively increase the large cars just having large emission and capacity.
Huang has been working in the auto industry for around a decade, and points out that even though a 200,000 yuan price difference can buy a new small and local-made car, for high-end consumers, the increase represents just 12% of the total car price. The size of the consumer group won't be affected a lot.
If certain consumers can change the consumption pattern to go for the small cars, then the authority could achieve the objective of protecting the environment, saving energy. But the problem is for import luxury cars, the consumer probably might not be very sensible to those price change.
So the people who buy a car are, people who have money. It's a social status market, a status-driven market. So the people who buy, a car and who buy the high-end vehicle, they are the ones who have the money. So they are the ones that they can spend money on big cars with big engine. So they're not going to look at buying a smaller car.
Moreover, analysts also believe the recent fuel price increase will not change the consumers' habits, as those who buy cars with large engines are fully aware and ready for the huge fuel consumption. However, industry insiders say the increased tax and the fuel price rise will temporarily stagnate sales for the big cars in the high-end market.
In the first week of April, there was no contract on the large cars, and I think such sluggishness will continue for 2 months or more. Consumers need time to digest the price adjustment and gradually take the new tax policy.
Luxury car consumption is growing at a steady 5% year-on-year. Tang says, given his experience of tax hikes in the past, the sales of luxury cars will be resumed in months. Moreover, the tax rise this time is too large for the car makers to digest. In the market dominated by foreign producers, the sales agents can only offer free maintenance service to offset some of the consumers' costs. Cai Jue for BizWatch.